It's time to review. We've been talking in class for the last few days about the causes that led to World War I. But how can you make sure you remember all the causes? Remember the acronym M.A.N.I.A. M is for militarism. This is the glorification and buildup of the military. This happened in a lot of nations after they went through the Industrial Revolution. They would use their new factories to create new and better military goods. For example, Germany wanted to be seen as a military equal to Great Britain. Great Britain had the best navy, so Germany increased their naval production. This led to the invention of the first submarines called U-boats. How this can lead to war? If you spend money on something, chances are that eventually you will want to use it. Nations that militarize will eventually want to find reasons to go to war to use their military equipment. A is for alliances. An alliance is an agreement between nations that they will support and help each other in time of need. An example of this was when Austria-Hungary declared war against Serbia. Russia, who had an alliance with Serbia and who were culturally similar to Serbia in that they shared a Slavic background, declared war on Austria-Hungary. In the early 1900s, Europe was connected by a tangled web of alliances. This meant that just about any conflict that broke out, no matter how small, had the ability to draw every nation into war. N is for nationalism. This is the belief that people with a common culture should have a nation and government of their own. An example of this is Pan-Slavism. This was a movement that was based on the idea that people of Slavic background were mostly ruled by other cultures in multinational empires. The Slavic people didn't like this and started the Pan-Slavism movement to show support for the development of independent Slavic nations. Nationalism doesn't have to lead to war, but it can. If peaceful protest is not being allowed or recognized, nationalist movements can often turn violent. I is for imperialism. This is when a strong nation uses their power to take over a weaker nation or area. For examples, we can look at Britain and Germany, who had both industrialized prior to World War I. They needed natural resources to feed the factories their economies were now relying on and keep production high. In order to obtain these natural resources, they took over weaker lands in Africa and Asia. At first, this was not a problem, but as land became more and more scarce and the demand for materials and markets went up, conflict became unavoidable. How this can lead to war? As previously stated, competition for resources can lead to conflict. Additionally, eventually the people that are taken over will usually begin to revolt and fight for their independence. Hello, nationalism! A is for assassination. This is the spark that actually starts the war. Archduke Franz Ferdinand of the Austro-Hungarian Empire is assassinated by a Serbian terrorist group called the Black Hand. This sets the alliance system in motion when Austria and Hungary declares war on Serbia. Russia, Serbia's ally, joins the war, which pushes Germany, Austria-Hungary's ally, to join the war as well. The dominoes continue to fall from there. So, in the future, if you're having trouble remembering the causes of World War I, just remember mania, and you'll be good to go.